So I'm out here today to play with a new toy. I've been waiting to have a good day to try this. What we have here, ThermoWorks infrared thermometer. Okay, all you do is point and shoot. That is saying 66 degrees. And as I go up the stream here, I'm gonna test this. Drop the line a couple holes here. This is probably the only big hole I would think of getting into, but you know, temperature is kind of right on the cusp, and we have you know, only 60 degree temperatures, ambient temperatures today. So yeah, perfect, right? So we'll come out here, see what we can find, and if we're lucky, we'll catch a fish. So I'm gonna walk upstream and play with this. It's all kinds of little tributaries that, you know, that'll run into this creek off the mountain. And when you do come up here in the summer, that's where you're gonna find a trout. Basically, if you can find where one of those tributaries comes into a deep hole, obviously you're going to catch some fish in the summer. So that's what I want to kind of play with, that temperature gauge. I'm going to get out my old one here, which is kind of thrown a crick. Kind of do some comparisons, because I'm curious on some of these deeper holes. This infrared thermometer only reads the surface temperature, okay? It does not read what the temperature is, you know, at the bottom of this 5-foot deep hole. And I'm curious. I've been watching this little thermometer here for a while. When I first looked at them, they were like $35, $40. I was like, that's a thermometer that is a little out of my price range. When most times I'm not even using a thermometer. I'm looking at local streams that, you know, I know where the gauges and stuff are. So, you know, I can trust that if the gauge says this, you know, I'm in the same water system or within a mile of it. So, you know, it's really not that necessary, you know, for me to get in there and play around with this. So, but read an article that, you know, if you're paying attention to hatches and things like that, water temperature is extremely important. So to get this thing, or have it on a little zip lanyard that I can point it right down at the water and look at it, instead of, you know, if you ever do these deep type of, you know, you want to know what the temperature is at the bottom, you got to deal with unwinding all this shit, because your line is that might have been the first time in my life that has ever worked. If you didn't catch that, I dropped my thermometer and it completely unwound in one try. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. Okay, here's our temperature. I got 66 to 67. That's surface temperature. We're within 6 inches of the surface. That's telling me 60. That's a pretty big difference. What I was curious about once I started researching these infrared thermometers you know, you can't tell with the liquid how far down it's actually getting to register the temperature when you start looking at, you know, the mechanics of that kind of technology. And they tell you that it's obviously not a true temperature, but if we're fishing, does it matter? If I'm only dealing with 1 or 2 degrees difference in temperature, that's not a big thing. But we're seeing 60 degrees to 66 degrees with a thermometer. I'll throw that out there, let it sit on the bottom for a minute or two. I just keep checking with this. It's just so fast. I'm saying 60.5. I'm trying to find like shadows, or I want to find situations like that where if you have a pool that's getting a lot of sunlight, you take a surface temperature, is it actually higher because the sun's hitting it? Just trying to understand how we can apply it. Is it just because we're lazy? Because nobody wants to sit here for 10 minutes trying to read a temperature. That did not change that temperature on this. And see that it's still saying 66 to 67. All right, we'll head upstream. I'm gonna find some of these tributaries, see if I can see if we can learn something. I go out and check the streams pretty regularly. Everybody does the same thing. And you see the trout congregating at these little tributaries, you know, that are coming off the mountain. This is on the Little Hannah mostly. And if I can find a video, I'll credit my best friend in the world, Brian, for giving me the video that he recorded. I was telling you about this thermometer by ThermoWorks. When I first looked at them, 6-8 months ago, they were, you know, the $35 to $40 range, and you could get cheaper ones, but I was looking for a waterproof one, and that's kind of what I was seeing, so I just marked it. I go back and check it every now and then. Yeah, I must be coming out with a new model or something, because it was like 14 bucks. So for 14 bucks, I said, hell yeah. All right, this will be a good example here. I got moving water and water that looks slower. Above and below. That's saying 62. That's saying the same. It's saying 63. Okay, yeah, we're back down to 66, 67, so. Oh, goodness gracious. That's a lump of coal I'm gonna put in my daughter's stocking. Okay guys, here's the Latrobe USGS site. So as far as where they take the temperature and stuff for this specific site, each one has a number. You can find these on the USGS site, but when we're looking for these, I'm going to compare, you know, some of these temperatures and things like that. I'm going to run down over the hill here and see if we can figure it out. It's saying 63.5. That's saying 70. see it on the camera. So, all right, we'll check the USGS site for this time and see which one of these is closer, I guess. Okay, everybody, welcome to Mill Creek. We're gonna do some more of these temperature readings. Mill Creek is a true mountain stream. Originates on the side of the mountain. And obviously, as you can see, we got some low water conditions. That temperature is saying 65.5. Looks like it's been reading probably about 4 or 5 degrees different. Doesn't really make a difference on whether the water is running or sitting still. So this is telling me, yeah, like 64. So we're a little closer. All right, we're gonna keep doing these readings as we're walking around and put some more data into the algorithm. Okay guys, this is a little creek, a little tributary, another true mountain stream. Comes off. Yeah, it's showing 64. Okay guys, we're here. I gotta stop at the creek. I got a meeting tonight. I wanted to close up this thermometer video, so I've done some other testing at home and ultimately done some research that just kind of determined it for me as far as what I would need a product like that for. It is not very accurate. When you look at the spec sheets on it, that you'll see a plus or minus 4.5 degree temperature between true temperature and what the infrared thermometer is showing us. So one thing that you need to pay attention to if you're going to go spend some money on these things, you know, are those variances. If it's that important to you, you know, what I'm going to use it for, I'm really only paying attention to stream temperature this time of year and, you know, early June to when things start to heat up, because I'm not going to really be in the water during the summer. And when I'm in the water in the fall, you know, temperature really isn't that big of an issue. What I was looking for was to add another element to the stats that I keep. And just so that I can learn and try to put some trends together, I got to give my brain something to do. So some of the other things that you might want to pay attention to when guys are taking temperatures throughout the day, is that necessary? I don't know. For my kind of fishing, it's not. But if they're trying to track, you know, specific hatches, things like that, usually it's the change in temperature that you run into that creates things that we can see on the stream. So if like from the morning to the afternoon, if you see, you know, a beginning temperature of 45 and ending temperature at 55, I mean, that, I would say that would be significant, you know, and might prove some results that you can see on the stream. But it's just information. Do with it what you need. If you know, you think I'm crazy for paying attention to this stuff, I don't know. I think I am too, you know. But there you go. The question you know, came up as far as what is the surface temperature compared to temperature at depth. I think what we see here in western Pennsylvania, we're not really trout fishing in water that is tens of feet deep. Most of the streams at most might have a deep hole, you know, 10 feet deep or something like that. And, you know, you can expect there to be some surface temperature to bottom temperature difference. Does it affect the way you fish? I don't know. I don't think so. You know, when you catch a fish, if you have one of these IR things, shoot the fish. You know, get the accurate temperature of where the fish is living on the bottom, and you know, maybe it can help. Secondly, on that topic, you know, just because there's not a lot of depth in the waters that we fish here in PA, that water gets mixed up pretty easily. So even a 5-foot deep hole is going to have some current mixed into it, things like that. Is it a noticeable difference? Does it affect the fish? I don't know. You know, Does it matter? I don't know. So final recommendation, I'm just looking, it's your preference. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to add it to my stats and go from there. You know, if you think that that might help you nail a specific hatch down, if you guys are fishing dry flies, yeah, try it. You know, it's not gonna hurt you. I found it for 14 bucks, and we'll make some use out of that. But if you want specific, accurate temperatures, I'd say stick with, you know, a contact thermometer, which is either the kind you throw in the creek or kind of like a meat thermometer, where you have to contact the surface or the water that you're in, you know, to get that reading. So what I found online, those are a +1 or 2 degree, you know, variance in temperature. So there you go. Enjoy, guys. Good luck.